Time for the new season in television. Cedric the Entertainer has been making us laugh for decades now, and he's about to add host of the Emmy Awards to his long list of credits. He's talking with our man in Hollywood, Ben Mankiewicz.
Cedric the Entertainer is riding high.
That's the rumble in the jungle right there.
You don't even need to drive anywhere. You just
You just scare people right there with that.
His car collection includes a custom 1941 Ford pickup.
You know, I love the lines on the trucks of the 40 trucks. That's what really made me buy this. I love the way the front was.
And then there's this vintage beauty.
The year was 1960.
Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
Class, style, and high performance. The T-Bird's nice too.
I call her Lovey.
Audiences have been loving Cedric the Entertainer for 3 decades, buying into a comedian who's dapper and driven.
Caught my grandmother cheating at cards, they put her out, man. We was like, that's grandma. They're like, she gotta go. She gotta go.
I'm constantly trying to push the meter. It's like, what's next? It shows up in your DNA like that.
And show business is in this 57-year-old's DNA. He's a comedian, actor, and producer with dozens of film and TV credits. Currently, he stars in 2 CBS shows, The Greatest At-Home Videos and The Neighborhood. Next Sunday, he'll host the Emmy Awards, also on CBS. A dream come true.
It felt like, wow, you're sitting there hosting the television prom, if you will. Just growing up and realizing how big a night that is, I felt like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
In case you were wondering, Cedric the Entertainer is not his real name. He was born Cedric Antonio Kyles and raised in Caruthersville, Missouri.
Small town America, you got the hamburger place up there, you got football games, everybody was family.
What was your life like at home?
My mother's a school teacher, single parent household. She raised my younger sister and myself, with a lot of love. We had a very, kind of aspirational energy.
But Caruthersville wasn't idyllic. There were rules, different rules, for blacks and whites.
I remember there was a single movie theater that, it was kind of like a unwritten rule that blacks go on a certain night, whites go on a different night.
He came to comedy late. After college, he tried his hand at broadcasting, then came a stint selling fax machines.
I just remember how magical people thought it was and like how hard it was like to sell it at first. Like, man, that can't happen. People like, that's not true.
I still don't think it
could
could happen.
No, it's gonna happen, watch.
He sold electronics at Best Buy.
Were you good at selling stuff?
Not really. I had a personality that could engage, but I didn't really know how to close people. So I just have a bunch of small conversations for quite a while and then
And leave without making a sound.
like, hey, things nice meeting you, man. You're great.
Next, he was a claims adjuster for State Farm.
Oh, the original Jake.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm.
The original Jake.
Yeah, the original. Had the cards and everything, khakis. Probably another job I wasn't really set up for, but I was really good at getting people into rental cars for prom for their kids. That was my move. That's what people really loved about me is like, yo, man, I had a shopping cart kind of hit my car. I'm gonna need to put in the shop for a week. You got it. So it's prom time, right?
So you were good for the customer, maybe not great for State Farm.
And I think that's why they never really bothered to bring me back for any reason, like to do commercials or anything.
He'd always been funny, but he didn't try stand-up comedy until his mid-20s. A friend talked him into it. Right out of the gate, he won $500 in a stand-up competition. He quit State Farm and hit the road. But Cedric Kyles didn't sound right.
Where does Cedric the Entertainer come in?
I performed as just Cedric. I performed as Cheerio for a short period of time there. And I did get a cease and desist letter from General Mills.
Is that true?
True story. I never really wanted to do my formal name. I would sing, I would do poems, so I was like, don't call me a comedian, call me an entertainer. So he introduced me as Cedric the Entertainer, and that was it.
It wasn't easy. The road was paved with rough nights and long drives, but he had support along the way, including from fellow comedian Steve Harvey, who owned a comedy club in Dallas.
I came to his club, and he put me on, and I performed. I did really well. Every night he would let me come and do 5-6 minutes at the end. And so I just killed it every time, and he gave me $200. And then he brought me back maybe like 2 months later to headline.
That must have felt unbelievable.
This guy is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hightower Robinson, you're out of here.
A few years later, they teamed up as co-stars on The Steve Harvey Show.
So, let me ask you your opinion of something. Take a shower, change your drawers.
And on the groundbreaking Kings of Comedy tour.
Talking about we want a black president. Come on, y'all, now, we got Clinton that's close.
We had a blast doing it, and, to be out on tour with those guys, lifelong friendships through that situation.
This is the Barbershop. The place where a black man means something. Cornerstone neighborhood. Our own country club.
Film roles followed, among them Eddie Walker, imparting old-school wisdom in the Barbershop movies.
Now, I had a couple of different voices that I was toying with, but then, as I just started doing it, this guy showed up. And it was like a combination of a guy from my mom's church, an uncle of mine, and it got to the point to where I literally didn't even need a script. I could do Eddie, you say something to me, I can talk for hours as Eddie.
You would have driven him nuts. He wasn't patient like I am.
Now he's back as Calvin Butler in season 4 of The Neighborhood, a show about a white family moving into a predominantly African-American community.
I almost got trampled twice.
It's weird, because I almost stepped on somebody twice.
The show is a comedy about gentrification, but Cedric sees it as a metaphor for these divisive times.
And it's all about not kicking people out in order to make it new, but how do we uplift and move forward with everybody being exactly who they are.
We used to have Father's Day basketball games.
Married for 22 years, Cedric the Entertainer is about to be an empty nester. His youngest just graduated high school. But this entertainer isn't slowing down. He's still revved up and raring to go.
We got one little move that we know we owe when we can't just step into the car no more. You know your ass old when you leave like this. All right, I'm going to holler at y'all.
All he needs is a mic, a spotlight, and a crowd.
Going on that stage, just that moment, just get a joke that works, you're like, oh, yeah, yes, got to do this.